Why, hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Showboat. Today is Thursday, March 10th, 2022. And I didn't do that much between streams, between Tuesday and today, so we'll be able to go through it rather quickly. What I will say here is that I have gone through my mods. I went through my mods. I have enabled Afraid of the Dark. I have enabled this now. Good morning, hello. And I've also, deleted the vast majority of stuff that was in my mod folder that I wasn't actually using. Yeah, my mod folder was a little bit huge. It was huge, taking like over 5 gigabytes of space just on the mod folder. Reason being that the game has failed to remove the vast majority of older versions of mods. And there are some mods that have been frequently updated where I had like 10 plus versions just sitting in the mod folder doing absolutely nothing for me. So I just got rid of everything that I wasn't actively using, basically. And that's pretty much it. A few things. I have also updated the available mods that had updates that are of the mods that I'm using, of which Hellmod in particular has had a few good updates that have managed to fix at least one or two things. In particular, the oh yeah, and an improvement here. So we've got fuel value added to lists of available fuels. So anytime you have a list of a burner type building that's going to consume either a solid or a fluid fuel, the drop-down list will now not only show the icon for the fuel types that are available, but it will also have the corresponding fuel value for each of those fuel types presented just in the list, which is fantastic. Fantastic. It fixed water as well, like the production of water. There was something going on there that was a little bit busted. Whenever I would add water in Hellmod, it would come up as like a burner building, like a boiler type building, rather than as the offshore pump. So it's basically just fixed that in here. It's set the default machine to be the offshore pump, and I've updated that now to default to the stone water well that I am using. So at least that was fixed. I don't think... I'm pretty sure that the chemical plant one has not been fixed. So any recipes using the vanilla chemical plant still, for whatever reason, will come up as the like oil burner or a boiler. So it's a little weird. That should probably get fixed at some point, maybe. It was also supposed to fix some stuff involving steam, but I guess this here from yesterday, this late night yesterday fix, hopefully has completely fixed the steam issues. There was some issues with temperature and steam, and being able to like plan out builds involving 500C steam in Hellmod, and I'll bring this up just so that we can see. Oh, I added a mod. So when this loads, I will need to go back again and enable iron, aluminium, molybdenum, and lead. Every single time anything updates, including the base game itself, which the base game also updated between streams, I have to re-enable every single Simic technology. Okay, every Simic technology that I picked from this system on each of these upgrades. Anytime anything gets updated, everything gets disabled again. Yeah, and this stays disabled, so you can't actually, like, pick again the same things. So, yeah, it's not ideal, and it's because Pyandons mods run a script when stuff gets updated that resets recipes, techs, and tech effects anytime anything gets updated. This is useful for times when changes are made in Pyanodon's mods to recipes and techs and tech effects, but it's triggering on everything else as well, getting updated, even if there's no changes to recipes, techs, or tech effects, and it is, gets resetting the effects, which is this. Yeah. It's lovely, lovely stuff. So, what else to say? Borax. I want to talk briefly about the Borax resource because I've done a few things involving Borax here, but Borax as a resource, for a long time I've said and I've noted that Borax as a resource outputs more than 1 unit of ore in a cycle. And I've shown this, I've proven this, because Borax, the crystal mines, have trouble outputting at their full throughput rate directly onto belts. This is especially apparent on the slower yellow belts. The machine stops because there's multiple units of ore that it's trying to output onto the belt, and thus the machine is stopped and you're not getting your full throughput from the machine anytime that happens. I've actually finally went into the code of Pycol processing and looked at the actual definition for the Borax reserve resource, and as it turns out, yeah, it outputs 3 units of ore each cycle, but only at a 70% probability. So each cycle you have a 70% chance of outputting anything, and when it does output, it outputs 3 units of ore, making the average 2.1 units of ore per cycle, or something like that, and it's 5 syngas per cycle, or 5 syngas per 2.1 ore, is how you can think about it, I guess. It's weird, and King Arthur has said that he is going to be changing the behavior of the Borax Reserve, that it doesn't really add anything to the gameplay for it to behave this way, and yeah, in fact, it actually is actively detrimental to the gameplay, considering that you pretty much are forced into outputting into a chest, no matter what, regardless of whether or not you're cheesing the buildings here. You will always have this issue of the building trying to output multiple units of ore at the exact same time. This is an issue with productivity on regular mining drills as well. I've mentioned this many, many times. Like, even vanilla mining drills, once you have mining productivity, you have to make sure that you're taking into account the fact that if you're outputting directly onto belts, that anytime a productivity proc happens at the exact same moment as a regular cycle finishing, you'll have multiple units of ore trying to get output onto the belt at the same time, and the mine will freeze for that, like, frame that it takes to offload both of those units onto the belt, and that slows down the machine. Frankly, it makes the machine slower when that happens. This is mechanics. Don't you love mechanics? Game mechanics and how these things work? Oh boy. But it's able to offload instantaneously multiple units of ore into a chest. And that's how you get around that. Now, getting it out of the chest, well, it's why I use loaders. Anyway, last time we met, because I haven't really mentioned this yet, I set up graphene rolls, as well as great alien samples and gold. So we have our gold right in here. Set this up out of gold-enriched biomass being brought in. This stuff being made out of Nauvis. So we have 15 per second throughput on gold. I'm not currently using gold for anything, but it's here. It's available and ready to go for when I need gold. I also set up the graphene rolls. Those are here and apparently not moving because of biofilm. Why did biofilm die? Why did biofilm die? That's interesting. Oh, that would help. Ahem. Yeah, that would help. I went to the biofilm to scale the biofilm at some point, or at least to make it update it so that it's not making the lime locally, but bringing it in, because I have a whole bunch of lime being provided onto the train network now. May as well use it and get rid of the thingies there, the local production, because don't repeat yourself type situation. If at any time I find myself repeating the same piece of a build many times across several factories, it's probably better to just have one factory that's bigger, that's vastly overproducing the amount that I need of that particular thing, and then just sending it where it's needed. So I don't have this distributed same thing over and over again. I'm slowly working on fixing that. But yeah, that's the biofilm. That's better. Between streams, what have I done? Well, I have set up treated wood at 30 per second. Up to. I'll word it as up to, because this is a lot of bitumen, and I'm at that point again where I need to scale my bitumen. I'm already making a lot. I need more. I need more. We're getting to a phase of the game where requirements are increasing by factors of 10, essentially. Yeah, so I need to get on that bitumen scaling. I also doubled my syngas out of bitumen, which again, it's another thing that's using bitumen here. I scaled that up by an additional 1,000, so I now have 2,000 units of syngas being provided onto my train network. I have this little build here that's just processing bitumen because I already have it. Apparently, this is not the quote-unquote cheapest way of getting into syngas, at least according to YAFC. But because I already am making bitumen, I'm not going to ever consider the cost of the infrastructure for bitumen in my calculations for how expensive something is, unless it's using like infinity amount of bitumen, right? Like unless we're talking 1,000+ units of bitumen, I'm not going to be as concerned. This is 200 each. It's 1 to 10 basically, or no, 1 to 5. So it's 200 units making 1,000 units of syngas. I think that's fine. Also, why are you not syngassing? Huh? Oh, because you've, Ah. You know, it would help if I had that there. That would help. Being able to cycle back the steam. Yeah. That would be because I changed the pipe type here to niobium from multi-purpose. Let's fix that too. Bodos. I have scaled Bodos between streams up to 15 per second in total through a more advanced recipe. This took a while to switch over. It's using the special fungal substrate now, as well as manure and moss, and all the other things, the spores, the biomass, the fuel rods. It's just this is a better recipe, and it's making like slightly more than 15 because of the building count I have in here. And yeah, just I have that. It's ready. It's ready. What's going on in the base? I'm sort of going over right now the things that I have done between episodes here, and fixing some of the mistakes that I have made between episodes here. Like this missing connection on my extra 1,000 units of syngas per second. So now I have 2,000 units of that online. As I mentioned, and as I showed a little bit earlier, I have scaled up my Borax processing and mining. This is why I scaled the syngas, by the way, by that 1,000. Because, yeah, I'm totally mining and processing 360 more units of Borax per second, as well as processing almost another 90 units of Borax all the way into diborane gas. This is actually 1,200 diborane gas per second, which is a lot of boric acid, ultimately. Much easier to move around the diborane on trains than it is to move the boric acid, and we need diborane for stuff as diborane as well. So there's that. That was a bit of a build, 128 washers on this part alone, plus another, 32, and then tons of other stuff. So that was a big bit of scaling. Nexelit matrix, probably you saw that over here. This is 30 per second of Nexelit matrix, using up some of that diborane that I made, and making boric acid for this Nexelit matrix. Using a lot of my Nexelit. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of Nexelit getting used in here, so that's why I'm going to say this is up to 30 per second, considering 27.8 is most of my 30 per second total Nexelit production right now. Yeah, I have 30 total. I'll need to update that at some point. Do some more processing or something. The problem is that the build for Nexelit is huge. It's huge for every 15, and yeah, I need to seriously consider, because if I want to make more Nexelit, where is that build? It's here. So it's all of this stuff for 30. Meow. Who's here? I got an Ollie here. I've got an Ollie meowing. Yeah, it's all of this stuff for 30. This is actually 2 builds of 15, so it's like this is 15, and it's like copy pasted for another 15. But there is further processing that I have available to me right now beyond this powder that would vastly improve the output. Don't get me wrong. The next step up for getting into the molten is a rather extremely large improvement on to the output of Nexelit. It's absolutely massive, but it comes at a cost. But it comes at a bit of a cost. So this is all sintering. Did I break down through? I think it was you, pulp 1. No, it wasn't pulp 1. It was pulp 4. Yeah, pulp 4 goes into molten. So if I ignore the sintering or stuffs here and just keep breaking down everything just to say, hey, you get 400 per second. Hello and welcome from your 30 Nexelit in. That's enough to make 100 units of Nexelit plates off of a red belt of Nexelit. The problem here of what I have here for tech that's available is that's 3,000 units of syngas. That's 1,000 units of glycerol. And that's 80 units of sodium chlorate, which is 160 units of salt. It's also 300 units of Armac 12D and 200 hot air. And 200 organic solvent. I'm making 1,000 organic solvent. That's a fifth of my production of organic solvent right now. And it's a fifth of my acetone. So, yeah, and I only have the 2,000 of syngas being produced right now. And I don't even have the glycerol being put onto the train network. At all. Yeah, of which it would be 100 units of collagen a second. Mm-hmm. Or the same of skin. Please be productive. Please. Oh, see, it's still like oil burner when it's supposed to be chem plant. That's still broken. At least this is productive on the collagen recipe. And at least I think, well, collagen's in, yeah, collagen is also productive. Thank goodness. So the problem there is that it's also acetic acid in urea, which is why I would prefer the other recipe. But might actually be cheaper to do the oleochems. I haven't looked at that. The one that gives you the yeah, oleochems and glycerol, but you're spending lard. You're spending lard, a whole bunch of it. Oh boy. Yeah. Needless to say, I don't want to do this. I don't want to spend all of these things. Ollie, get down. I don't want to spend all of these things, even though I need this much Nexelit. I don't need to make this much. I don't need this much productivity out of per unit ore of Nexelit, is how I should best word that. So, yeah, I'm gonna stick to the fine Nexelit powder as much as I can on that. What else? Nen-bit matrix. I am making about 2.5 units per second out of my Nexelit matrix, as well as nanocrystalline structures and niobium titanium alloy. This is just here. It's a one-step process, but it's taking 3 things and making it one. So it's on the network and ready and available to me when I need it. And then this morning, the last thing I did before coming in here was setting up distillates, which again is eating up a ton of bitumen if this was operational. Yeah, and it in fact would consume a lot of distillates. The idea is that I am going to use it to make grease, a lot of grease, in fact. So I've set up this 1,000 unit each of distillates from up to 66.66 of bitumen. which is a lot. Which is a lot of bitumen, but yeah, not even using the residual oil, so that's just getting deleted. I won't ever use the residual oil. I might never use the medium or highs either, because both of these need to be further processed. Yeah, you have to go through condensed distillates on the highs, and you have to go through the stripped distillates on the mediums, but I decided I'm not going to do that here, at least for now. Only the low distillates can be directly used without some other intermediate, but I really, really want the grease, and I'd rather do this for grease. I'd rather spend this bitumen for the grease than have to set up more Fagnots, way more Fagnots, and more Nexelit, because that's a lot of Nexelit, and that's a lot of Fagnots, and a lot of steam to get into 500 degrees. Why 500 degrees? Because I'm gonna need like several hundred units of copper plates. I am very much considering going the route of high grade, and that's going to use a not insignificant amount of grease. A not insignificant amount. I have some grease right now. I think it's what did I set it up as? 100. Ew, I set it up out of trits. That's like the only use I have for trits, but it's actually very shortly going to be better to do bones from Fagnots. Reason being the upgrades for the bones make it significantly better than trits, because this is productive. You gain the productivity bonus off of this step from bones into lard. So any use of lard should default to actually being bones rather than lard itself, and just trivializes the use of trits. It makes it so that you don't really need them except for their photophores, which is unfortunate, to say the least. Now, this distillate build, as you can see, there's no power going into the thing. That is because I have set up my power switch logic again. Remember, I did this where I was making my acetone, phenol and acetone, because I wanted to make sure that if I had full containers of phenol and acetone, that I wasn't going to continue to void both of those things at the same time. This is a little bit more complex because I am in fact dealing with 3 items this time that are being provided onto the train network, and I have to check if all 3 are like full in the storage here. So I have it all wired up. It's all being sent by a red wire all the way down to here. The power switch controls is like in between the main grid power and the power to the actual factory itself, but not to the train station. Very important. And here, this is an and right here. It's checking for A and B to output C, and this is checking if C is existent or if it's 0. I forget which one. It's enabled if C is 0. Otherwise, if C is 1, everything is full, and therefore it will open. It will shut off the power on here, which is it's just a giant. It's a giant plug. It's a giant plug that closes when it's on, when it's enabled and sending power through. But it's not sending power through because, well, it has this value of C that's 1 rather than 0. Now this, because it's 3, I have to do this other and check. So the high distillates and the medium distillates are being checked here as a Y and Z. And if both of these are greater than 120,000, if both of these are outputting a 1, because that would be true if it's more than 120k for each one of these. If they're both true, then it's going to output the A, and then this one by itself just outputs B if this one is a greater than 120,000. And if both of those are true, if both are 1, then yeah, we're outputting C and we're turning everything off. That means everything will turn on again as soon as any one of those falls below that threshold of 120,000, which basically just means anytime it's like in use. And everything else will get voided, unfortunately, if we're only using one thing, which we're going to right now. Also, can I just mention that there's 2 chromium Megamind spots here that are like considered by the game to be one spot? Can I just mention that there's like 2 of these right next to each other somehow? Like, huh. I didn't immediately realize that at the time. That was like that. But anyway. So that's all the stuff that has happened in between streams, and yeah, a lot of work ahead of me. A lot of work ahead of me because I was looking. My plan at some point is to have at least 1 unit per second of circuit 3s and 1 unit per second of circuit 4s, aka intelligent units. There's a problem with this. There's a problem with this, and you can probably, if you've experienced the late game of Pyandons mods before with Pyalien Life, you probably know what that problem is. That problem is bio batteries. We're going to need like 7-ish, even at max vanilla productivity and Mark IV machinery. We're going to need like 7 per second of bio batteries just for circuits, if we want 1 per second of each of those 2 types of circuits. We're going to need 34 boron for this. We're going to need 34 boron for this. We're also going to need a ton of optical fiber. That's another thing that's like very disturbing. Very, very disturbing. And yeah, we're gonna need a huge amount of HCl, a lot of rare earth oxides, a lot more helium than what I'm currently producing. Yeah, it's oh, and a lot more Zogna than what I'm producing. It's a build. It's a build. Most definitely, it is a build. And the sad part is that most of these ingredients that are used in bio batteries are also used for other things. So you actually need more of these other things as well. The only exception here, I believe, is the lithium niobate. This stuff is exclusively used in making the bio batteries. So, oh, and oh god, it's used for the parametric oscillators as well. Which we're not going to need that many of, fortunately, for making space science and for the few Mark IV buildings that are required for it, because we're not going to be doing the utility science recipe that needs them. So we don't need that many more, only like 1 extra or something like that. Yeah, you're eating 7, but I set it up to make 8 just to have enough for space science later. But yeah, this is going to involve so very much. So much, in fact, that also, what about methanol? Something in here, there was something that I was looking at that needed like infinity amounts of methanol. I've already forgotten what it is. I don't know if it was directly bio batteries or if it was something else I was looking at, but something needed like infinity methanol or close to it. Ah, yes, it was in fact the boron. in the making of refined syngas. Because I was looking through my options on the refined syngas and just ultimately decided, you know what? It's probably going to be less of a headache to do the syngas methanol into refined syngas for the boron. I mean, just look at these numbers, and whew. This is to get boron the normal way. Just to make it clear, this is boron the normal way. I do have access to boron the alternative way. The thing about the alternative way is that it's 7.5 gigawatts. Just so we're clear, I'm likely going to do this. Because even though it's significantly less power from what I've already broken down here, do I really want to go and put down over 1,500 buildings of factories, individual separated factories with like 12,000 syngas production and like 6,000+ hydrogen chloride per second just to feed the behemoth that is boron for what I need? Probably not. I'm probably better off continuing to scale my power, which just to power this alone would mean having to build this again, which, yeah, you could say, oh, but that's another 1,500 buildings. Is it, though? About, yeah, like another 1,500 buildings to do just this. The problem is this already exists. I don't need to design anything else here. I can copy this whole thing and paste it down as a new square somewhere and build it. It'll take a long time to build the infrastructure for it, to actually have my mall craft the infrastructure for it, but it's there. It will always be there. I can go around to it every so often and continue adding to it. I also need to... Actually, you know what? I have the rayon. I have 7.5 rayon right now, so I technically have enough. I'll need to scale it a little bit more, but it's like I have these other components for it, which is ideal. Yeah. So that's my spiel on the hell that is boron for biobatteries in particular. They should probably adjust the sheer amount of boron required on here. Cough, cough. And or make these be able to accept productivity modules on the vast majority of the stuff that's in here. Because this is an intermediate made in a automated factory. It should take productivity modules, and it doesn't. The alien bacteria, fortunately, this stuff takes productivity modules, and this stuff is highly productive. I'm not as concerned anymore about alien bacteria. Neodymium magnets are not productive, nor do they have an improved recipe of any description. It's only the one. This needs something that is upgraded to make it a little bit less expensive overall. And then there's this pure intermediate lithium niobate, which also is not productive. The lithium chloride, for whatever reason, is productive, and yet the niobate isn't? Huh? Like, this alone, saving 8% boron off of, like, 2 level 1 productivity modules is huge! Anyway, that is what I wanted to discuss here at the beginning. Let's make some production science. We're not going to start with the production science, though. I want to get more production science going. I have not finished all of the production science texts yet. There are, in fact, several more to go. Remembering that I have had that brain biocomputing going for a couple of streams now in like an entire weekend. So many hours with one that brain biocomputer giving me extra production science. It has allowed me to unlock the recipe for the cotton gut science. But of all of the ingredients that we do not have, there is one that is a bit bigger of a build. Oh, did I break down the chelators? No, I didn't actually break that down. I've been tempted to set up a dedicated build for chelators out of Yotoy Aloe, but I've been lazy. I was lazy yesterday, very much so. I for whatever reason, I just didn't want to think, so I just sat down and I watched anime for the vast majority of my afternoon. Watched through, finally, the entirety of Goblin Slayer yesterday, beginning to end. I have already read the first 3 light novels, which the first season covers in its entirety, and I was like, they actually went as graphic as the novels. And I was like, good. I was surprised they went as detailed as they went on the anime version, because yeah, that's like that in the novels as well. Likely even more so. We need neuromorphic chips. And I will say that this is going to be one of those things that's going to be up to 1 per second, because I still need to scale up these optical fibers to meet this demand. I have everything. I have all of it provided on my train network. That is not the correct thing. This is the correct thing here. Yeah, I have all of these ingredients on the train network. So 22. Oh, great. Hi, Dolly. You're going straight to the window. Okay. 22, huh? Of which we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 are fluids. All right, I'm going to need another stack of stuff. I'm going to need more stacks of stuff than I currently have inventory slots for. So we're going to have to restock anyway. Whatever. Pin that. So this is going to be our first factory. We're going to need 2 factories for what we're doing here. Trying to think how much space I will need for this. Probably going to build this here. And down we go. Well, oh, I needed cages apparently as well. So yeah, I definitely need to like do some restocking. It's only that one thing, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's only that one thing that needs the cages. Good. Good. This is probably also going to have a multiple output to it on top of that, on top of everything else, because I'm going to need the paramagnetic material for many other things. I may like have a separate build for it, or I may just scale up the stuff that's here and throw it onto the network. But I think that's the only thing here that I would consider as like a separate build. Or should we have it as a separate build? Should we split this? I think I should split this. So this is only a small part of the overall build. But it is several steps. Hello, my dolly. How's that dolly? How's she doing? Yeah. Yeah, the baby girl. Here's my baby. You're happy. Okay, and then there was the og-based meat as well. That actually makes this a bit... Gosh, I never pay attention, because for every other creature, the first item in the list is the caging of the creature recipe, but for this one, for the Augs, it's actually the pups, for whatever reason, is the first recipe. Ah, boy. And then there's the crushing of the... Oh, that's already there. Okay. So that makes this a bit simpler by keeping these separate, and it allows me to more easily scale this stuff later once I start needing this for the Mark III infrastructure and various other things, shall we say, and various other things. So that makes this actually a 2 fluid and 7 solid system. I need this part pinned first. So who'd have thought that we're making 3 factories today, at bare minimum. How many did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I will absolutely need to grab more rail. That should be 7, right? That's 7. Give me another... Come on, reach! Reach! And then how many? 1, 2, 2. Okay. Did this get the productivity? Yes, it did. Thank God this gets the productivity out of the Research Center tech upgrade. Because, as you can see, this recipe doesn't allow regular productivity modules on it, but it does gain it from the beacon effect productivity here, off of the hidden beacon from the tech upgrade here. This guy, 35%. Glorious productivity. Not all recipes are like this, though. AKA, every single vanilla science recipe, King Arthur, every single vanilla science recipe does not allow any of the beacon effects from the tech upgrade system on the Research Center. It doesn't allow them. Now, PyScience is not a vanilla recipe, so PyScience allows it, even on its vanilla basic recipe. Its basic recipe does. Here. This one gets it. All of the vanilla science recipes don't, which sucks. Oh, it sucks. But all of the Cottongut recipes do get it. That's another reason why I'm doing the Cottongut recipes. Unfortunately, at least for this science, this Cottongut recipe doesn't allow regular productivity modules. So it's like, okay, for our chemical science vanilla recipe, we get regular productivity modules, but we don't get the buildings technology-based upgrade that gives it 35% productivity. So we only get like regular module productivity. This is great if you're using Bob's mods. That's fine if you're using Bob's mods, but we're not on this save using those mods. So yeah, we just have to deal with it. We just have to deal with it. So starting up, get these going. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not the end of my issues here. So these get productivity. They have to be placed by either me directly or my robots. Cannot use nanobots to place them. Otherwise, I would not have the 20% productivity bonus from those. Same thing here with these buildings. These also gain a baseline level of 20% productivity each. Also, they are productive, so I don't know why I didn't have the productivity modules in these. Like, duh. Also, you are productive. Like, excuse me, we need to have our productivity modules anytime we need productivity modules. Right, I was gonna check you. Hit the refresh button. Are you fixed yet? No! Alright. Helmod, while it recently did attempt to fix issues involving the Steam, it was not able to do so with the matrix solver. Why that's making so much water, I don't know. But anyway, oh, it's because of the like. I don't even at this point. There, that looks ever so slightly better. What's oh yeah, because of you. Yeah, so this is what it really should look like, I think, but because I had it on matrix solver, it doesn't know what to do with the heat exchanger if it's on matrix solver. It zeroes it out. But if I have it compute by element, it's fine. Huh? Also, are you able to, like, take the effects of productivity into account now? It doesn't look like it. Yeah, so just there's something with the heat exchanger going on. Like, it takes productivity, but the recipes are not updating the values here. It should be consuming less steam when I add productivity to this. Yet it's not getting reflected here. Same, it should be using less fuel rods, fewer fuel rods overall, but it's just weird. It works if you're not using matrix solver, so there's at least that, but just whatever reason, matrix solver is still borked. All right, continuing. Da 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 ba 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 ba. Water, water everywhere. Input, manure. Over here, input, output, output, input. Actually raise that up a little bit. Oh, I had more than 1,000. Didn't realize that. Also, you're going up there, you're going down. Splitter split. Ahem. There. To the right cage. That will do. Give some power. Right. I have to, like, hold shift on these. Because of that hidden beacon underneath in particular, I can't, like, elegantly place these buildings on top of the existing buildings. Because I guess somehow the hidden beacon does have an existent collision box. Alright, we are all hooked up. Power has been given. Output. Okay. That's that. That's somewhat scalable. I won't say it's infinitely scalable. I would need to move this just a bit over to allow me the space to put another line there, at least one, if I wanted to truly want to scale this as we go. Otherwise, I'd be waiting for a while on increased mark level stuff. Okay, you have your productivity. Good. That's all I needed from those. So that's all of those steps done. This guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Uh-oh, it's the enemy. It's the ultimate enemy, the trees. All the trees, they need to die. Goodbye, trees. Now this is pretty high throughput each, isn't it? Yeah. All right. The input is fine with these stack inserters. I did actually get an inserter stack size upgrade, didn't I? Yeah. So these now move 6. Everything else is still 1 and 1. I'm still going to use loaders here. And there we go. That will cover that. I will need to filter stone. 8.2. Wow, that's a lot of stone. You? Oof. Better. Ta-da. That's enough to get rid of that 8.2 stone. Oh boy, back to this. 11. There we go. Again, this is another building that has the tech upgrade giving me productivity. This time it's 40% baseline productivity. fortunately on a recipe that does not otherwise allow productivity modules. That helps. 40% helps quite a bit. Especially on Myoglobin. I remember this being painful. Whoops. Alright, this stuff has 3 ingredients in. They're all the same throughput, so it does not actually matter who goes where. So I'm going to take the meat. Oh wow, you stretch that far? Good. So everything that we just made was to make the myoglobin. Everything that was here was for this. And myoglobin is, I believe, only used to make this paramagnetic material. Oh no, it's needed for the recombinant erythropoietin. If I needed those. If I needed any of that. I do not believe that I do. I do not believe that I need any of this. Yeah, nope. No, no plans. No plans to need any of that. So, just paramagnetic. Probably gonna use these. Nah. Some builds I use them, some builds I don't. It all depends. Like something that looks like this on its build, where the heavy oil refinery is 1-to-1 with the tar processing unit to make creosote. This is a great time for using substations, just to give everything in here power off of this one line on the electric grid with the substations. This looks nice. This looks nice. It uses an absolute ton of bitumen to make this much creosote for these 30 per second of treated wood. Like, oh my gosh, this treated wood. Oh, it's awful. Really, really need to get these as Mark IV buildings with level 3 productivity modules, 4 each. Really got to get that productivity going to reduce the creosote needs and bitumen needs of this. I'm not even concerned about the wood that is required here. I'm concerned about the freaking tar / bitumen. Alright, and then it's 22 research centers. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. And this is just make 1.5. Can you believe this is 1.5? Just 1.5. That's all this is. Actually, I need to look again at what building types I will need going forward. I might need some of these. Oh boy. And this is going to be 3 input belts. How lovely. Doink, doink. Da-da, da-da. I'm gonna need more belt, I think. And this will be easy enough to power. At least it should be. There are certain situations where I actually need to do this type of an arrangement on buildings that are small, plus have pipes, and you end up with 0 spaces for any power here. And then this is extended beyond the range to power everything. To get power lines on the outside, you can't get these powered, so you have to like either use substations or add additional undergrounds in here, or an extra space. It can be an issue. I should just grab this whole thing and flipped it. That's better. I am now out of red belt. Great. This is why I would usually carry 2,000 units of red belt, but I have 1,000 each of red and green at the moment. At least until I get a bigger inventory. Which if I went and I made military science, I could attempt to get another line at least. Actually, I don't even know. Modular armor is going to need dingret pelts, which I can set up, but this has a 10. The power armor is 20, and then the Mark II power armor isn't until utility science. Great! My tiny armor Mark II already gives me the 20 inventory bonus, so I don't get any more inventory spaces until utility science, because even my infinite technologies techs, or quality of life research, excuse me, doesn't increase my... Ooh, it doesn't increase my inventory. Yeah, my next upgrades aren't until utility science. For whatever reason, I don't know why they picked utility science here, because there is no purple science version of this. Frankly, this should be purple science for these levels. But anyway, gotta wait until I have some GTA, I guess, and yeah. Or gosh, I have to wait until actual utility science, because we're gonna start with this, which you know, there's something to be said to, like, blitz my way into utility science. Is there anything stopping me? I mean, yeah, intelligent units here. And because this is the recipe I will be using for my utility science ultimately. I'm not going to do this in here. I'm not going to do this time. I'm going to do this one. What's going to stop me from doing this one if I vat brain my way into utility science will be the fact that it needs circuit 4s and all the stuff I need to get into circuit 4s and circuit 3s, because I don't have circuit 3s right now. I don't have circuit 4s right now. I don't have the various ingredients required for purple science, which are going to be required for Mark III infrastructure, and I won't have... I'll like still need to make all of these components except for perfect samples for the regular utility science pack for infrastructure. Like I'm not, by going into this recipe, I am not dodging the need to get all of the other ingredients for utility science. It's just that I'll be using these for infrastructure rather than science. The only thing I dodge is perfect samples. That's it. I will not need to make these whatsoever, and that's a huge time savings in particular. So we've restocked, I believe, at this point, allowing me to go back down here and finish off this part of the build. But there is something to be said to at least get the vat brain science going as quickly as possible, because we're making our purple science right now, and the only thing I need for the GTA, it looked like, on that vat brain utility science is Dilmo eggs. Like, I'm pretty sure that my vat brain purple science, or my vat brain utility science, only really needed this stuff. Of which the only thing I won't have, because we're going to be making the denatured seismite for purple science, right? Like, my purple science uses the denatured seismite. The only thing here is Dilmo eggs, which I was going to do off screen anyway, because I'm doing all of the creature stuff between streams due to their nature of their positive feedback loops to get enough modules to get the systems going. It takes a while to spin up creatures and plants and fungi for the first models of them. So I've been making those and showing them after the fact off screen, and Dilmos are among the several that I still need to make at this point. I have made. They are available in the mall. I have made the Scrondrix. I have a stack of 300 of them. I have the stack of Dilmos ready to go, and I have a stack of Fat Eye ready to go, as well as, you know, Xenos and the puppers. The puppers, yes, the Dingrits. And eventually Vonix, but the Vonix need circuit 3s. Yeah, Vonix will need circuit 3s for their codex. Otherwise, I have all of the other animals in the game. I don't intend on making Xenos, sadly. I have no use for Xenos. There's no use for these. If I set them up, it would just be for the sake of setting them up, which... no. So I could do my armored cats, dancing armored cats. I could do my Scrondrix, and I could do the Dilmos, which I will need to get to GTA. So I think after today's stream, the next time we meet, we're probably going to vat brain utility science. I think we're going to vat brain utility science the next time we meet. I don't... it'll be less than 0.05. It'll be 0.02. But yeah, this is on the agenda, I think, for next time. The only thing that I need is Dilmos for it. So first off, let's get this finished so that I can get to the neuromorphic chips. And then to the actual production science. This will take a while. Thus why it's the only thing I'm really planning on getting done today. There's a 0% chance that within 3 hours I will be able to do this of setting up the production science and set up Dilmos and set up the utility science, unfortunately. The vat brain utility science. Okay, the throughputs are low enough that it does not matter what's on each belt line here. So, and looking at the throughputs, I'm not concerned about any of those either. Yeah, so realistically speaking, this will be easiest if I do something along these lines and then have like a similar thing here. It's like you go there and then you go all the way there. Ta-da! Alright then. Inputs! We're done with the actual infrastructure. Now to do the logistics. You are taking those cages. Don't request the cages anymore. I will need the augs. Whoops, wrong spot. Wrong direction. Oh boy. Yeah, I need to do that. There we go. Better. What? Ugh. Huh? But I copied you. How did one end one way, one end the other? I don't know. Barely muted in time. Hey, kitty. How's Dolly? How's that baby? Okay. Phew. Alright, so that's augs. Request the augs at paramagnetic. Next is manure. Ah, that's what happened. I see. I see. I had it backwards. I should not have put that request in. Just thought about that. Now I'm gonna have a train that I have to worry about. This is why I need to wait. I need to wait between doing the logistics and actually putting the request in, because yeah, now I'm gonna have a train that's coming in that I'll have to pay attention to. Otherwise I die, and I don't want that. Zogna, you're next. Yeah, the other was cyanic, so I know that what these two things are. This is our Zogna. Yep, that's exactly what I need you to be. And the other one is going to be our cyanic. That one is going in here, this line. And up we go. That's the fluids connected. Next up, we've got the phosphate rocks. Request those phosphate rocks. By the way, you know what would be great? Is a mega mine for Borax. Just like as a by the way moment here. Pretty much every resource in the game has a node-based version of it, with only 2 exceptions. 3 exceptions, actually. We've got Borax, molybdenum, and niobium. Those 3 things do not have a node-based mine associated with them. I would like to have one for Borax. Cough, 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 cough. One that does not involve spending syngas. Cough, 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 cough. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Hack, wheeze. Ahem. Because I think with Borax, the thing that you spend is... What is it? I mean, there are alternative ways of getting into Borax, but I think with Borax, it's sea sponges. Yeah, that's... Yeah, I don't think I want to spend that as opposed to, like, the 900-something syngas for it. It's a bit much. Is a bit much. Oh, I put in the request. Dang it, now I have 2 to worry about. Now I have 2 things to worry about. Alright. We need the chromium, iron oxide, nylon, and aluminium plates. Whoops. Yeah, that's what I thought. Now I have to rewire. Whoops. Go up. Go up. Go out. Alright, at this point I can start requesting the things. So we've got our aluminium at paramagnetic, and we've got our chromium. Aluminium. Chromium. Our iron oxide. And our niobium. Niobium? No, nylon. Iron oxide is... yeah. Nylon. Where does nylon live again? There it is. You are manure. Ahem. You are cyanic. And you are Zogna. The Zog. Bring me the Zog. Whew. Okay. That. Should be that. S paramagnetic material. D paramagnetic material. Alright, what are we waiting on? Urea to urea. We're waiting on the urea to urea. There it goes. We are making the urea. And that should be the final thing to make the myoglobin, to make the paramagnetic material. And that should be good. What is the stack size of you? 200. Ahem. 1 stack, please. Paramagnetic. SD. Full cargo. Whoops. Circuit condition. Auto magic. Assign. The priorities. Where does paramagnetic material live? Right down here. Under high tech. Paramagnetic. There we go. And that is that. It is flowing. We have paramagnetic material. It exists. It exists. We have it. It's glorious and magnificent stuffs. Meaning we are now done with that. And that is half the stream gone. Oh boy. Oh boy. And then we have to do these. Alright, get back up there. Do a restock. Summary. I have those. I have those. I have those. And I have the other stuffs as well. So we're good on the infrastructure, fortunately. This is going to need a few things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I need more unloaders. And then 2 fluids on top of that. Yeah, just stuff. Things. Where are we going to make it? always a fantastic question is where? Where do we do this? Where shall we do this? We'll do it here. Yeah, I know I'm gonna need more Crydron, but I'll make do. Alright, have we recovered our stuff yet? Not really, but we'll do that, we'll recover, and we're going to take a brief break. We are halfway through today's stream. I will be back in just a few minutes where we're going to be making these neuromorphic chips and getting into the Cottongut-based production science. I will be back shortly. And I have returned. Welcome back. I have returned with an Ollie on the desk next to me. Hey, big boy, licking his tail. There he is. There he is. That's the big boy. So he's here. He's joining me now. He's joining. Feeling comfy enough to groom, I guess. Hey, Ollie. Gosh, need to like have this camera all the way back. It's like I can't. This is the. There we go. Hey, he's in an awkward position. There we go. Hi. There he is. So, we have just completed the paramagnetic material. Hello and welcome. You've made it for the second half of the stream, as Ollie is doing his thing. Grooming. He's a grooming. Yeah. We are about to make neuromorphic chips so that I can then go into this stuff, which is an even bigger train station than previously. But not that big of a factory. It's not that big of a factory. This one, slightly bigger factory. So we're going from a rather large factory with a somewhat average size train station. So bigger factory, smaller train station, to a larger train station for a smaller factory, to an even larger train station for an even smaller factory. It's glorious every time those things happen, right? Is it just the way of things? That's just the way of things in Pyandons mods. Some of the smallest factories need the most amount of trains coming in. Anyway, let's get to it. Let's try to not spend an hour on this alone. And then be stuck going way over time trying to actually make the science that I wanted to make today. Okay. As I said, this was like 14 solids or more. Well, that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah. 14. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14. Ahem. Honestly, what takes the most time is just the station logistics. That's what takes infinity amounts of time. Just getting the belts from the station to their spots in the factory. Building the factory is simple. Placing the belts is time-consuming. There's definitely something to be said for just making robots do it. For just, quote-unquote, making robots do it. Anyway, right, I'm not done with you yet. I'm not done with this station yet. I've still got the 2 fluids that I need. Come on, we've got 2 fluids. Aw, curled up in a ball. Yes, Ollie. Ollie's curled up in a ball, and we've got Dolly back here. Dolly's back here as well. We've got both of the babies now. The babies are here. And next stream, on Tuesday, the babies will be 2 years old. They will officially be 2 years old. Their birthday is March 15th. We won't have had them for 2 years, but they will be about 2 years old on that date. Now, were they actually born that day? We don't know, because they are rescues. Not even the rescue, I'm sure, knew exactly, but it was the best estimate. Best estimation. Based off of their size when they were rescued, I guess. So yeah, there's that. They are apparently siblings, but you probably wouldn't know it by looking at them. They've got some similarities, but yeah, they look very different from each other. All right, where are we beginning with this? We're beginning with the boric acid from the diborane. Always easier to move the fluids over the bigger distance than it is to move the solids. So that'll close off those two. Wow, as I said, this would be a pretty small build here. We've got a shared single belt in. Don't think I need either ceramic or tin for anything else in here. And these are output. Interesting. It's 3 into 4? Fortunately, that actually works with direct insertion. Yeah. That works with direct insertion. Or does it? No, I'm not. It's the other way around that works, not this one exactly. I always confuse myself. The 4 to 3 going down works, but going up, like this only gets one of these, or 1/2 of these. This only gets 1/2 of these. Yeah. Easier. Just do this over and up. One extra belt line as well on that input. Flip those around to make it a little bit easier on me. And by the way, this is both of our fluids in this one step. So it's like, oh boy. They both get used here. And I believe that the aluminium and tinned cables are also not used on anything else in here. Like, oh great. All these things that are only used once. Throughput is fine. I will actually do this. Yeah, I haven't been putting inserters. Let's put the inserters. All right. Okay. Offload. Well, that just about covers it. 4 of these. Wow, a tech happened. That's a rarity these days. Techs are about to get significantly faster, though. Molecular assemblers. My problem that I have with molecular assemblers is that they have a building level limitation on productivity modules. These are one of a few building types that, for some reason, just simply do not allow productivity modules to be part of them. The other ones that I know off the top of my head are pulp mills. Pulp mills don't, and I don't know why. Both of these buildings have building level limitations on productivity modules. Filters have a building level limitation, as do washers. Those I understand. because they primarily deal with fluids and have many recipes of converting fluids to solids and then those solids back to fluids. Yeah, you don't want productivity there because you could very easily end up with situations where you are making more stuff than you start with due to productivity. So say you have 100 units of flue gas making a unit or 10 units of ash. Well, if that then makes 102 units of flue gas from those units of ash, well, then you have infinity ash and flue gas. And we don't want those situations. Pyanodon doesn't want those situations. I want those situations. Pyanodon doesn't want those situations. I have found a few of those situations, and they got fixed pretty quick. That actually came up in Vanadium, by the way. That type of a situation. I believe I mentioned it way back when we worked on the Vanadium build up here, that there's this loop of the vanadium solution in here with previously all of these steps, the whole chain, in fact, was able to have productivity modules in it. For good reason, actually. There's good reasons for this entire thing to be productive, but yeah, when I pointed out, oh hey, if you use productivity modules in here, you end up with more vanadium solution than what you need to keep the system going, and therefore you have an infinite supply of vanadium. You basically have an infinite supply of vanadium at that point. Zero inputs to get your outputs. Yeah, that got fixed. I was like, oh yeah, I said that in order to fix it, you have to remove the productivity from these specific steps from this up to the point that it outputs it again. For these steps, I said, don't allow productivity on these steps. What Pyandon ended up doing was removing productivity from the whole thing, even though it only needed to be removed from these. From, like, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These 7 steps here that are represented. These 7 is all it needed to have removed. Everything else after could have kept productivity safely. And everything before could have kept productivity safely. But no, just make the whole thing not take it anymore. How many belts are we working with here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay then. Really 7. Because output belts. Okay. Aha, we're in that situation. We are in the situation. I need to move these a little bit. I am going to need to use substations here. I will not be able to, or I could, but it'd be a bit of an issue. So here we have all of this. This is fine for this side. The other side is a little bit different. At least there's an even number of these. This side is ever so slightly different. I'm gonna put that down, but what's the individual building throughput? I don't have to worry, I think, about anything other than optical fiber. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, that right there is how it's done. Squiggles. Squiggles is how it's done. Whoops, wrong thing. This side can have the power poles on it. But this side will have substations. The subbiest. And everything else will be power poles as well. Excuse me, but weren't you connected? Oh boy. Ta-da! There's the factory. And then there was logistics. Well, step one on the logistics would be to get this over here. That's just general step one. Individual building throughput on those nylon parts is something I need to think about. I'm actually going to put it here, just that it's on the internal. Yep, okay. Logistics time. Thingy? Oh. I'm like, thingy? Show me the connection. Right. And down we go. Autosave is auto-saving. There we go. So you are the diborane. Our diborane at Neuromorphic chips. Which means that you are AL Pulpo 1. Same as before, gotta pull this down. Ta-da! That's that logistics. I'm gonna very much try to not put the requests going until I'm done with these logistics. Ahem. Alright, ceramics plus 10. Oh boy. Let's go. Ceramics plus 10. Yeah, so this is going to be a these. All right, names are ceramic, are tin, and then the next thing is also shared. This one's going to be our aluminium and our tinned cables. And they're going to go onwards and outwards as well. Okay. There and there. That's that logistics. It's a little bit faster doing these logistics with much greater distance on these underground belts. That's why I'm using these greens, because they've got some reach to them. All right, next up I've got nylon and only nylon. So I need to keep in mind this one is only the nylon, not a shared belt. Our nylon at Neuromorphic. Come this way. There we go. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more things. Glorious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, that's the rest of the stuff. That's the rest of the stuff. So all of this back-end stuff was to just make 2 of the ingredients. There is a +1. That +1 is optical fiber, I think. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. Also, there you go. Ta-da! Vacuum! Enjoy your vacuum. Boy. Alright. So I mentioned this needs to be single, which means that we're going to have 2 doubles, a single, and then 2 doubles. And that's just gonna be that. Oh boy, that's not good. That will do. That will do. I will get those back. Those don't need to be that far, because we've got this guy going up there. Got this guy going up there. This is the only one that matters what it is. This one has to be, or will be, the R optical fiber. The other two don't really matter so much. Or the other four, I should say, don't really matter so much. That's everything connected, right? Outside of the output? Let's get the output. Okay, oh, that's not the output, right? We're not there yet. We're not there yet. This makes the empty neuromorphic chips. We need to fill them. It's like, I completely forgot we're not done yet. Now, again, this recipe does not take productivity, but the buildings, though, they have 40% productivity, which helps a lot. Yeah, it helps a lot. Give power. Whoopsies. Draw a straight line, buddy. There we go. Phew. Now connect that to there. S neuromorphic chips. D neuromorphic chips. Okay, supply biofilm at Neuromorphic. Supply Nexelit matrix at Neuromorphic. Supply nanocrystalline cellulose at Neuromorphic. Request neuroprocessors at Neuromorphic. Request melamine at Neuromorphic. I did not pay attention to that melamine. Where is that going? On a middle line? I'll have to pay attention to the throughput there. Our bakelite at Neuromorphic. Bakelite is one of the things that I'm making at Circuit 2 PCB2s. At the PCB2 factory, which I just scaled up and put on the chain network. What is that? Microfiber at Neuromorphic. And then R paramagnetic at Neuromorphic. Now we may request everything and see if this actually works. Biofilm. Nexelit matrix. Why no biofilm? I thought I fixed you. Nanocrystalline. Neuroprocessors. Optical fibers. Melamine. I want to make a melamine factory, actually. Bakelite. Microfiber. Paramagnetic. Whoops. Nylon. Tinned cables. Aluminum plates. Tin plates. And ceramic. Aluminum pulp 1. And diborane. That's a lot of things. Ah, biofilm is on its way. This is a bit busy, I have to say. This is a few things coming in. How are you looking? You need these things. And the aluminum plates. Why no aluminum plates? Huh? Why no plates? Am I out of plates? Or did I mess up the request? I messed up the request. There's the plates. They're going. They're moving. Oh boy, yeah, optical fiber. That's gonna be the limiting factor here. Now, as soon as those plates come in, we will have our capacitors, electrolytic capacitors, whatever, yep. And that will be the neuromorphic chips. The empties and the fulls. Now, with, fortunately, 53 minutes left. I need to get the train set up. You're only gonna have one stack, of course. SD full cargo circuit ignition auto magic. Depot neuromorphic. Back we go. And there they are. The first chip. The first chips. They're here. They have arrived. Why does that icon look so phallic? I mean, is it just me, or does that look, Anyway. Moving on. The actual point of the day. Ahem. I'm gonna need some infrastructure. I'm gonna need you again. I'm gonna need you again. I'm gonna need slaughterhouses. And I'm gonna need gene labs. And I'm gonna need biofactories. That should be it. And then I need to look at my ingredients here. So we're dealing with 23 things. 9, 18, 23. Of which, how many are full? Oh. Do I have empty chips provided? Or empty dishes? I think I do. Fortunately. I have empty dishes. I don't have agar provided, so that's a thing. So I need a fuel. Is that seriously the only fluid? That's the only fluid. Do I have the retrovirus on the network? I don't remember. I do. Okay. Water, water everywhere. Okay. So 24, of which 23 are solids. 23 times 2 is 46. We're also going to need some more requester stations. Don't need those jaw crushers. I think that's it. I think that's all. Okay. Now, within the next 45 to 48 minutes or so, we shall have these thingies done. I'm going to go and do this here. And pray I have enough stuff, rail, for all of this. Because that's a lot of stations. That's a lot of inputs. Oh, yeah. I need one more ingredient. I need to not forget that I need one more input ingredient, because I'm pretty sure none of these are a solid fuel. I need a solid fuel. I need a solid fuel so that I can delete everything else that's being output here. I know that's like blasphemy, but and I don't want to do it, but I'll have to. I will be putting the excess stuff onto trains, but this is already a huge train station. It's like I do want to use the thingies, but ooh. Either way, I'm going to be burning excess. Like, no matter what, I'm going to be burning the excess. So do I keep this way, or do I like add the like +5 stations, supply stations first. I'm gonna leave it for now. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Excuse me. 24. I know that I can use it for the steam, but I'm not going to, because I don't want to use solid fuel for steam. In general, it is significantly easier to get the fluid fuels for steam overall. It's just it's just an efficiency calculation, not really like, it would be easier, yes, for me to just use the solid fuel. I'm not carrying around any boilers with me. I carry around oil burners with me. So that'd be another thing that I would have to like restock and go and get. And I'm too lazy to go and do that until I absolutely have to. I mean, that plays a role. Oops. Yes, let's just take everything. And I have the space for the extra station. It doesn't really matter to me. Something I'll probably want to do is extend that little waiting area by quite a bit. Because as we saw with the other station, once I put all the requests in, it got a little bit busy. So let's extend this out just a tad. This passing station. Oh boy. Well then. +1 fluid at the end. Now let's not forget to put that back to 20 and put this back to 20. Ahem. And then get the actual build infrastructure set up. Stations this big are one of the main reasons to actually just build the factory here. Put this on this side. Like have the depot on the opposite end and build your factory in this area. I haven't been doing that in this playthrough generally. Just I had made the decision early on that I would be building on this part of the rail. I've done things both ways, and I think I would prefer having this over here on this side and building out here in general, but you know, let's just have it be harder on me. Sure, why not? We'll do it the hard way. This uses significantly more belt. So that's that. Give me... I mean, it's only the one building, right? But I'll be scaling. I'll be scaling at some point, maybe. This makes a fluid. That goes in there. Yes, place that down properly this time. Same with you. 1, 2, 3. May as well do this with the other as well. Keep these together. So you're an input. Actually, I can share that belt for an input. So this will be the Zipho and Krydron. All right, so that's those, and then there's this, followed by this. All right, I do still need to worry. Followed by that, followed by that. Okay, back to nanobot territory. I need to get this output over to you. Shared. What is the throughputs? Whatever. We'll do this. Make that red belt, please. So as it turns out, the stack inserters are actually able to pick up stuff going down the green belt here. They actually are able to grab things that are going past, but the red inserters cannot do that. Sadly, the red inserters are too slow to pick up stuff off of the ultra fast belt here, which is unfortunate. That outputs beads, magnetic beads. I'll need these beads for other things as we go along. Oh boy, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you get a partner. Throughputs are fine. Oh my god, hello. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus a bunch of outputs. And an output. Okay, I'm gonna attempt to have that as my output. Whoops, I can't have you there. So the complicating thing here is we've got, you know, this sitting here. Whew, boy. Well, that, I guess, works for power. Then this just needs the denatured seismite. I actually need to move you. Ahem. For the moment, I will go back off screen and take care of the obvious issues presented here of avoiding avoiding a lot of stuff. We've got not quite 3.33. This should be fine, but you know, don't think I want to avoid those things. It's a little bit expensive. It's just a little bit expensive. Insetters. Okay, some fluid logistics internally now. We've got chelators. And we have arthropod blood. Oops. Okay, that's the internal fluids all routed. I need to make sure that over here I have an input of like iron or something that'll be by itself. I think. Yes, the PKSs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, +1. There is a +1 here, so that can be you on the PKSs. The polyketide synthase enzymes. Ah, boy. Names. The names of things sometimes. Like, I get it, this is like high-level biology terms here, but still, ugh. Meow. Meowed. Meowed at me. Babies. He's sleeping. He's all conked out up there as well. Hey, Ollie. Ollie's he's all conked. He's conked out. Camera. Hey, you. The baby. Can you show the face? There's the face. Yes, big stretch. Big stretch for the big Ollie. Huh? Yeah, that's the baby. That's the baby. There he is. That's a better ish paw hook. Yeah, there's the baby. You can sort of see. There's that face. He's got his paws in the way. Yeah. There. Hi. You're moving now. Did I disturb you too much? You repositioning? Oh, that's better. That's better. Yeah, get the face. Get that pretty face. Get that focus. There we go. Yeah, that's the baby. Right there, that's the baby. And that's my dolly back here, yeah. Sleepy kitties. Such sleepy kitties. Alright. Gotta move it, We've got half an hour to get all this logistics stuff done. Yeah, so we're starting with the fluid, of course. This is kerosene. And I hope I didn't make any mistakes. That would be awful. I hope I didn't make any mistakes with the train station in particular. But we're going to go through it item by item and watch and make sure that it's actually doing what it's supposed to be doing. Our kerosene at production science. I mean, that is what this is, right? And I don't think I have a supply production science yet. I'm making vat brain science, but it's being direct belted. And it's not ending up on a train station anywhere. Oh boy. Well, this is good. Let there be seaweed. The weediest of seaweed. Let's go. Let's get that going. All the way at the bottom. Of course. It's seaweed and then iron. Request seaweed. Request iron. Don't see why I can't do both of these at the same time. Wow, that's actually the correct spacing. I am shocked. That makes this really fast. All I need to do up here is just get the that, and then next to it directly, we've got the Yotoi. Yotoi aloe coming in right next door. Our Yotoi aloe. Let's get all of that made. Get these ghosts built. And I believe the next belt is the shared belt between the Zahifo and the Krydron. Yep, there we go. So that'll cover those 3 inputs coming in here right now, plus the thingy there. The next belt is the shared belt. between the Zahifo and Crydron. Ooh, that's a good point that I just thought about. I don't remember if these are the efficient recipes. So have I not taken the blood upgrade tech yet? I have not. Okay. So the blood is fine the way it is, but the adrenal cortex, Crydron, I do have the upgrade. The sad part is Helmod does not tell me which recipe is which. Uh, hmm. Yeah, that's unfortunate. From you, this is the one that gives me 2. Okay. I just had to double check that I am using the correct recipe, because that would have been not good. Okay, I need the... Aw, it's not in my thingy. Grab that. You there. Okay. Our Crydron at Production Science. Our Zahifo. However the heck you actually spell that. Next is what? And on which side is it going to be? Next is Kikalk. Okay. Kikalk, and then it's the shared belt of aluminium and nickel, which I'm gonna put here just to keep them next to each other. So Kikalk, aluminium, and nickel. Our Kikalk, our aluminium, and our nickel. Next, what do we got? What do we got next? We've got a single belt of something. What is this single belt of something? Ooh, our choice. What do I want this to be on the furthest lane along with the beads. This can be the resveratrol. Yeah. So this will be wonderful resveratrol. Ooh, this is getting to be an interesting thing here. So I've got that there, but the next two things are over here. That's to the left, but problem with being to the left, we have, do we have the space? We do have enough for 3. 1, 2, and 3. All right, we'll go with it. Okay. First one's resveratrol. Whoops. Next ones are shared. Actually, I needed that one. Okay. Just want to look at this. So this one should be the lower throughput stuff, which will be, let's say, the glassware and the empty petri dishes. So first off, our resveratrol, our glassware, our empty dishes, and these being on the inside, I want to make sure that this is like the R Fawogay, Fawagi, and then R Yadles. Okay, the next stuff that are being input are from this side, which we've got another 2 items that we need. We need the retrovirus and Bodos. So now we work from here down. Our retrovirus and our Bodos. Of which we have, oh gosh, so many left. How many more stations do we still have? 9. Oh boy. 9 more inputs. Alright. Next up is the size mine itself, of which this should be the 9 remaining. 9 remaining? Wait, I messed up somewhere. I had to have. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 1. Oh, these aren't coming in. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 items. Nine items. Yes. One thing gets to be on its own. Oh, that's a lot of throughput on the kick all seeds. Okay, so the rest of these are 3 shared belts. That counts for, or 4 shared belts, excuse me. That's 8 plus 1 is 9. Yep, alright, that's just gonna be how it's gonna be. Now, as for what this is going to be, going into share on the... Wait, no, not the middle belt. The close belt. Ahem. What's going to share onto the close belt? It's going to be... Well. Ahem. Cotton guts. Duh. That's going to be on that belt. Our cotton guts. And then all the rest are shared belts. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And to route them. Which one of these was pretty high as well? The biosamples looks pretty high. Yeah, 3 biosamples per second and nylon at 2. So biosamples, nylon, oh, super alloy at 3. Biosamples, super alloy here. And I guess I can have the nylon on this belt. As for this one, it can be the nanocrystalline and neuromorphic chips. I am out of underground belt. Our nanocrystalline, our neuromorphic. This one's going to be our biosamples, our super alloy. The rest I don't believe matter. Are... Oh, I didn't bring the Crydrin adrenal cortex over now, did I? No, I didn't. Doesn't that mean I have to share something? What? Oh, right, there's... the fuel. The fuel, so I have to make an adjustment. I need to restock on my underground belt. let's restock. So what I did not consider here was that the Coke. I missed the Coke. So this one down here needs to be 2 singles. Yeah, so this needs to be a single and a single, because this one is our Coke. So after super alloy, we've got great samples. We've got Novins. Wait, didn't I say I wanted nylon somewhere specific? I don't know, I guess. This will be our nylon. Retrovirus photos, cottongut, nanocrystalline, cellulose, neuromorphic chips, biosamples, super alloy, great samples, novins, nylon, coke, yadles, faugi, empty petri dishes, glassware, resveratrol, nickel, aluminium, kickalc, zahifo, cridrin, yotoi aloe, iron, seaweed, and kerosene. Okay. Just a few ingredients required for this. Just need to run the last bit of belt, and we're good. And we are, in fact, good. With 8.5 minutes remaining. Oh boy. Yeah, this was definitely a stream. Definitely a stream today. Oh boy. Yeah, and then, right, you need to do that. In. Oh, how unfortunate for you. So that's what we're gonna have for those, and then I guess there's the Coke as well. So we have 4. Okay. That'll go there. These can extend downwards a little bit more. Please place those. Thanks. Fix those. You go that way. You come all the way out to here. You are going all the way to there, and you... Huh? Yes, are there. Okay. Now, all that leaves is... the belts for the supply. And that's all the belts. I think I'm good to start requesting things. so let's begin. Let's get stuff going. That's a stud. That's not a cotton gut. That's the cotton gut. Gotta pay attention here. Nanocrystalline. Neuromorphic chips. Biosamples. Super alloy. Great samples. Hey, why no super alloy? Why no great samples? Hello? Novin. Nylon. Coke. Yadel. Yadel? Didn't I already have Yadel? No, I had Novins, not Yadels. Ahem. Yadel. Thawoge. Empty petri dishes. Glassware. Resveratrol. Nickel plates. Aluminium plates. Kickalk. Zehifo. Crydrin. Yotoi aloe. Iron plates. Seaweed. And kerosene. Now, what was going on with that super alloy? Oh, it's coming. It's on its way. It was just busy. Okay. Everything is all right. Oh boy. Yeah, it's a good thing I added to this. But it seems I need more. It seems I could have done with a few more. Unfortunately, they don't update themselves immediately. Yeah, they don't like recalculate even if I add all that stuff, so it's like I have to clear the backlog first. Oh my goodness, so many trains. Oh boy. Alright, what do you, like, missing? Just your adrenal cortexes? No, you have some of those already. Do you need, like, even more of them? What do you need? What are you missing? What's this? That goes with Nobbins. Great samples. Great samples. The greatest of great. Alright, they're just coming in at a trickle at the moment, and they are being requested at the mall. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and be like, oh, hey, mall, yeah, you know those great samples? Yeah, you're not going to request those anymore. Oh, good, the backlog is done. The trains are done. So at this point, I believe that the only thing is just the availability of the great samples that are preventing stuff here. Looks like we've got the PKSs. What happened to Super Alloy? Oh, goodness. That's, an issue. That I didn't think about at all. Hey, yeah, you go there. Clean this up, please. There you go. Ah, boy. Yep. See, there was a mistake. There was a mistake. It's been fixed now. This is why I check. This is why I check these things. Okay. Because all that's left is the great samples, and I know that everything else is, you know, working. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the locomotive set up on here. Get rid of those biosamples from in there. Set this up to carry a stack at a time. Supply, depot, full cargo, circuit condition, automatic, define, production science. The production science, save. And just as soon as we get some great samples in, we will be good. We will have what we need, and we will be making denatured seismite for production science. Not a ton of it, but enough. Enough. Significantly more than what we already have of production science. Speaking of which, I am now going to go to science processing. And I'm going to cut this off. Yeah, I'm going to cut this off. Swap the recipe actually to utility science and like get rid of the logistics science pack and that sort of stuff. Just to get it to stop, because I don't need it anymore. What I need is to get the production science delivered. So you will be request production science at science, bringing me that wonderful production science once we have some. And this is actually a shared belt up top with whatever else. Whoops. And that is that. That finishes this transition to real production science packs production. The genuine stuffs. Just gotta... I shouldn't break down this belt, but whatever. Just get rid of that. Because you're gonna be doing utility space science. Eventually. Eventually, once I have the GTA. And once I provide the production science for it, it'll be a very, 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 very small trickle of utility science, but will be good. It'll be great. And that, as they say, is likely going to be that. The great science... It's still accruing. Could you just go? Like, just go. I want you to deliver to the things we can actually see some production science. That would be great. I didn't actually pay attention. I need 0.3? Oh. I'll need to scale this a little bit between streams. I mean, I have the resources to do so. I absolutely have the resources to be like 1 on here, and to do the same on the good samples as well, and on all of those inputs. All right, the samples have arrived. The seismite it's moving. There's the cycle happening, and all of those unfortunate things are gonna get voided. Ugh. I don't like the looks of that, but gotta just deal with it for now. We've just gotta deal with it for the moment, watching as it all burns. Watching as literal pie science gets burned. Yeah, because these things, these here, these make pie science. And there's others that make logistic science and the other science as well. Automation. Yeah. That's just the unfortunate part. But with that, over the course of the day today, we have made the paramagnetic material. We have made neuromorphic chips at a rate. At a rate. Coinciding, I think, exclusively with the amount of optical fiber that I'm going to end up having. And we are, in fact, now officially making purple science, production science, through the Cottongut-based recipe. Ah, boy. Meaning I'll probably convert a few other things at this point to the Cottongut-based recipe, if I have those recipes unlocked. I don't even remember if I have those recipes unlocked. Science. So I don't have the pie and chemical science ones unlocked, but I do have the logistic and automation ones unlocked, so I can at least somewhat use those things. I think it's it is a purple science that will allow me to unlock the other recipes there for sciences. But anyway, with that, folks, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat with Dolly and with Ollie. on this wonderful Thursday. I would like to thank you all for watching this. I will, of course, be coming back on Tuesday with more of this. If you have enjoyed today's stream, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff down below the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed, and hit the notification bell. Consider becoming a member of the channel by hitting the great big blue join button and supporting on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushow. But if you are so inclined and able, I will be back on Tuesday. I hope to see you all then.